Well, a very good afternoon and a warm welcome to weekend coverage from day 2 of the E1 Charity Ladies Open from beautiful Wonju City at the Seongmunan Golf and Country Club. Timothy Loh here, so wonderful to have your company this Saturday afternoon in South Korea. Well, we were bathed in resplendent sunshine yesterday for the opening round. It's a little bit dour and dank this afternoon. It's been cold, it's been wet, and, well, we've had some steady rainfall all throughout day 2. Choi Hye-jin opened with a 2-under par round of 70 yesterday, just coming to the close of her second round. Remember, 4-under par had the lead coming into the weekend. 4 players, big hitting Bang Shin-sil, Ji Han-sol, and the like. That is Yoo So-yeon. Tee shot at the 7th. Well, that's okay. Greens have softened up a little bit. They were getting a little bit spicy and bouncy towards the afternoon stages of yesterday's opening round, but with the heavy downpour, much more receptive today. Now, Shin-sil had to lay up on this 9th hole for the second day in a row. This, a putt for birdie, currently leads the championship, and that one falls off on the low side. But you have to say, given the current conditions and state of play, Bang Shin-sil is going to be very happy with her position in the clubhouse. She'll pop that in for a round of 69. And the clubhouse lead. Now, Park Ji-young, one of those players who could certainly make a dent in the lead of Shin-sil. With a 3-under par round of 69 yesterday. Ran into some trouble off the tee on 5 and, well, almost with a spectacular par, but that's going to be a putt for bogey upcoming for the winner of the Singapore Women's Open at the end of 2022. Well, Lee Ye-won, the rookie sensation of seasons past, she's had some struggles towards the end of her opening round yesterday, but she's battled back nicely right now inside the cut line with a chance to go into Sunday in red figures. Once again, with the conditions the way they are, you don't think she's going to be too far off with 18 holes to play if that one drops, but, well, she's going to have to settle for a par. And as far as Ye-won is concerned, a solid made cut streak this year will continue. No stranger to playing in poor conditions. Got a breakthrough win on Jeju Island earlier this year at the Lotte Rent-A-Car Ladies Open in what were awful conditions all week long at Lotte Sky Hill. 70 for Ye-won. Back to the par 3 and a birdie look for So-yeon. US Women's Open champion. Also has a win at the Chevron Championship that came 6 years ago. That birdie effort coming up just a little shy. Now, Hye-jin for her par. Okay, not really what she was looking for. The second round, 1 over par 73 for Hye-jin Choi, really limping home with 3 bogeys on her back 9. She'll start Sunday at 1 under par. Suji, 2 victories on tour last year. Level par. Opening round of 72 for Kim Soo-ji, and that one just skates past the top side of the cup. The Players' Player of the Year last year. He has grown comfortable to being in big situations. Bang Shin-sil, remember now, she's a rookie. It's only her 5th start on tour. She's already got a pair of top 5 finishes, and she hangs her 7 under par in the clubhouse to set the mark through 36 holes. Very tidy stuff indeed from Bang Shin-sil. 68-69 to leave her at 7 under par as the rain continues to pelt. Seongmunan Golf Club, just outside of Wonju City. And there's one thing Bang Shin-sil knows how to do. It's to chomp up the par 5s. Longest hitter on tour by quite some margin. And if conditions continue to stay like this over the course of the final round tomorrow, having speed an advantage. Having speed is going to be a massive advantage. Now Minji, 12 wins in the last 2 years for Park Min-ji, which is behind the 8-ball early. 3 over par round of 75 yesterday, not doing her chances of a 16th tour title any good. Current projected cut line at 1 over par. This time for Min-ji to try to make up some ground. Now to the unmistakable pink outfit of Park Hyun-kyung, 4-time tour champion. Trying to give herself a little breathing room with this birdie putt. Not to be. An incredible run of almost 2 years without a miscut before she finally failed to cash a check at the Kyochon Honey Ladies Open a couple of weeks back. That event too doused with rain. Only managed to get 36 holes completed. Now to the second, and Lee Chae-eun 2. Downhill left to righter for a birdie to get to 4 under par. Oof. Tell you what, the greens might have softened up, but there's still plenty of speed in them. That's gone rolling by a good 5 feet. Ji-young, remember, ran into some tree trouble off the tee. 4th shot to here, so now this to drop only 1. That's going to struggle to get to the cup, and well, looked so solid yesterday with that 69. Had a putt on the 9th green, her final hole of the day, to tie the lead at 4 under. Now she finds herself cut line watching as she slips back to even par with a pair of 6s on 4 and 5. And back to the second. Similar-ish putt to Lee Chae-eun 2s. Kim In-sun, one of 4 players who shared the overnight lead after opening with a 68 yesterday morning. And you have to say level par, or in fact anything in the red if you can manage it. Going to be an excellent score in difficult conditions this Saturday afternoon. Now Suji's comebacker for par. Not to be this time for Kim Soo-ji. So she's going to fall to 1 over par. Again, that is the projected cut mark. 54-hole event this week. Cut will be made at the end of play today. Low 60 and ties. We'll play the final round tomorrow afternoon. Here is the defending champion, Jung Yoon-ji, emerged victorious in a 5-way playoff 12 months ago. And that's an important birdie. Takes her within 1 of the cut line. Still needs a couple more. It recovers after that awful double bogey 6 at the second hole. Now So-yeon should be looking just outside right lip here. The 32-year-old. Okay, nicely holed. 1 over par for this second round. She is a real grinder. You don't win 6 times in the LPGA Tour and 10 times in the KLPGA Tour if you're not a bit of a fighter, scrappy character. There should be Park Gaeol Just behind the umbrella of Choi Rim. Second shot into the 7th. Pin today just 4 from the right edge. Oh, and keep chasing, keep chasing. That is a very nice shot indeed for Gayol. Took a lot of confidence after her runner-up finish at the KLPGA Championship at Lakewood Country Club about a month ago. First major of the 2023 season. Now Yunji on the 6th tee. Screen does tilt a little from right to left. So you can sort of pitch this one about 20 feet right, have it chase around on the bank. Oh, and she's starting to feel it. That's an excellent tee shot from Jung Yoon Ji. This course stretches out just over 6,000 meters, and in this downpour, it's going to feel every bit as long as it can play. That's going to release on nicely as well. How about those two shots from Park Gayol and Park Bo Kyom? Now Hyun Kyung. It's an 8-iron as well. She's going to take a bull line straight at the stick like Yunji did. You bet she will. It's very good. You're certainly not going to miss her in that bright pink rain suit today, are you, Park Hyun Kyung? Currently leads the money list and the points list on the KLPGA Tour. 5-time tour winner. A permanent fixture inside the top 10 on the ball striking categories in the KLPGA. There's that little bank I was talking about. Keep feeding, keep feeding. Oh, brilliant shot there from Park Ji-young. Surely we'll be able to get back to red figures after what has been a rather slow start. Now Yerim. We've seen a couple of great shots from her playing partners. You see a hat trick of birdie looks. Oh, you bet you can. See, that's a pretty good shot, but it pales in comparison to the efforts of Bo Kyom and Gayol. Certainly very different scenes to what we saw throughout all of the opening round on Friday at the E1 Charity Ladies Open. Jung Yoon Ji defends her title, but it's Bang Shin-sil, the big hitting 19-year-old, who currently leads by 2. Done and dusted through 36 holes after backing up her opening round of 68 with a very impressive 69 earlier this morning. This is day 2, just outside of Wonju City. Yerim after that lovely second shot with a birdie look here at 7. Safe to say, not her best effort this week. Still in red figures and only 5 back of Bang Shin Sil. Now Hyun Kyung after that excellent tee shot into the 6th, slow uphill putt for a 2. Oh, perfectly read and nicely holed for Park Hyun Kyung, who moves herself back to even par with a pair of early birdies. Gail had her best ever year in the KLPGA Tour last year, finishing 45th on the money list, keeping her card with ease. There's just a little bit more belief in the game of Gail right now. Like Hyun Kyung, couple of early birdies, gets back to even par for the tournament. Ji Young, nothing like making a 2 after a 6. A brilliant tee shot, set up a simple conversion, and Park Ji Young gets herself back to 1 under par. The group ahead of Park Min-ji, Kim Soo-ji and Yoo So-yeon safely negotiating the tee shot at the 7th. You see that pin? Just cut on the right side of the green, pretty much in the middle of the green depth-wise. But Yoo So-yeon coming in with a hybrid club here. The ball's not going to travel quite as far in these damp, soggy conditions. Tried to hit a high chippy cut. She's just come over the top and pulled it. That's okay. Nothing disastrous about that. Missing the fairways today could make things challenging, as Kim Min Sun's going to find out here at the 3rd. 26 meters left. Yeah, pretty good shot. Just to the front left edge of the green. I see this rough at Seungwon-nan Golf Club, rather tangly in some spots, and you couple that with the moisture on the tops of the blades of grass, is going to make driving the ball well, keeping the ball in the fairways, a real premium this afternoon. Here in this elevated tee box at the par 3/8. You've seen the blueprint of how to get it close. Just do what Park Ji Young did. Send out a little bit right, try and use that slope. Pretty good. Pin high. We're starting to find their range. Soo-ji a little bit further up than So-yeon. A slightly better angle coming in from the left side of the fairway. That's a nice shot. That's very well played. Kim Soo-ji birdie hunting again. Min-ji, it's really the strength of her game. She's in full flight. Pretty good, but just chasing on a little bit further than she would have hoped for. Now, Hwang Yo-min. Currently second on the Rookie of the Year points race. Just behind Kim Min Byul. Third shot into the ninth, where it doesn't seem to be raining quite as hard as some other parts of the golf course. That's a fairly accessible pin in that lower right bowl. That's not bad from Yo Min. Former top 5 in the women's amateur golf rankings. Tremendously accomplished young lady. Here in the birdie look here at the 8th for Choi. Just hangs on the high side of the lip. I just get the sense it's going to be a bit of a US Open kind of test for these ladies today. It's a war of attrition. If birdies drop, great. If not, pars, I'm not going to do your scorecard any damage whatsoever. Min Sun 7 back at the 3rd. It's going to be a rather slick putt, this one, just playing from the top of a brow. Easy to have this one get away from you if you're not careful. Bang on, dead weight there for Kim Min Sun 7. Soyeon putting down a bit of a channel here at the 7th. Turned pro all the way back in 2007. Made a KLPGA Tour debut in 2008. 2 major titles on the KLPGA Tour to go along with her 2 major titles on the LPGA Tour. Company of Kim Min Sun 7. Chae-yun a bit closer. Like she did back on 2. That one going speeding past. Minji has got to start making some of these putts, because the cut line could be looming, let alone any chance of victory. Hasn't missed a cut yet this season. Minji. She's in real danger here. Now Yo Min down the slope, moving a little left at the end. Seen a lot of players underread it from this top side. Certainly looks high enough. Oh dear, absolutely slammed that through the break. Now she's got a 6-foot comebacker for par. Suji, delightful second. This is what she does so well. She wears golf courses down. She has so many of these range putts for birdie. A new putter in the bag this week is Suji. That was just a straight up misread there. Last year's Hana Financial Group champion. And then a thrilling 3-way battle with Han Jun-seon and Hong Jung-min at Bears Best in Cheongna. Chae-yun, another little tester for par early in her round. Not going to get away with it this time. 3-putt bogey out of nowhere is going to drop Lee Chae-yun to 2 under. Bit of a tiddler as well left for Yu So-yeon. Three putts, they are frustrating. It's not how you respond to a 3-putt, how you respond to a silly drop shot. That's what defines a great golfer. And a great golfer, Yu So-yeon certainly is. And the second bogey of the afternoon is going to slip her back to a share of 24th with this young lady who's got this putt to stay at 1 under. Okay, nicely hold. Nerves of steel there from Yeomin. Let's have a look at this pretty par 3/8. It's only 129 meters and it plays a little shorter than that from an elevated tee box. Obviously, short of the green, a big no-no. Waterfall and a big old penalty area ready to gobble up any balls that aren't quite struck sweetly enough. The pin today, fairly generous location, 12 on from the front and 10 from the left. Just got to make sure you carry that little spine you see on that green graphic about 8 paces from the front edge. If you do that, you should be in birdie country. For players like Minjee and Suji, who predominantly work their ball right to left, this one sets up well for them. It's over the ridge. Just. Young. Shot into the 7th. As the rain continues to fall at Seongmunan Golf Club. Sensible. Not taking on too much there. A little bit too conservative for my liking, but it's pin high. Suji. How aggressively she clears her left side. She changes direction at the top of her backswing. And gives it the full beans as far as rotation goes through the ball. It's even better than Minjee's. Well done. She's a graduate of Yonsei University, which also saw the likes of another successful South Korean, Jang Hana. But she didn't play any college golf during her years there, which is rather baffling for a player of her caliber. Keep getting better and better on this par 3/8. So-yeon in close. We go back to the 7th. Unfortunately, there is a little bit of trouble here for Hyun Kyung. Tugged her tee shot well left into the trees. Ball's come to rest on the cart path. She's looking to play it off said cart path, and that's just because if she were to take relief, she'd have to drop it on the side behind her, the ball being closer to that side. Remember, it's nearest point of relief, not best point of relief. And if you drop it there, not only will she be in the rough, she'd also have a very awkward stance and perhaps some tree limbs impeding that backswing. It's not as hard a shot as it looks. Clipping one off the cart path. It's almost like playing a fairway bunker shot. Just want to nip it clean. Uh-oh. It was toey. Quick left, and she was putting together a scorecard nicely with a couple of birdies, but she's under the pump here at 7 to try to save a par and some of that momentum she's worked so hard to build. Can anyone catch Bang Shin-sil at the top of the leaderboard? The teenager leads by 2. Minji going to be first to putt for birdie at the 8th, coming uphill ever so slightly. This ball should want to peel just a fraction left at the cup. That really is the frustrating thing about golf. You can hit good putt after good putt and not have any of them drop. She needs some putts to drop. Currently 3 over outside the cut line. To the 2021 champion, Ji Han Sol. Lost in that 5-way playoff last year to eventual winner Jung Yun Ji. Han Sol's been quiet so far this year, the 3-time tour titleist. Suji. Really good look for birdie after that excellent tee shot. But like Minji, just a little bit too much pace for that line. Did graduate Yonsei University with a degree in sports business. Actually took that course while she was competing full-time on the LPGA Tour, so I suppose you could say that it would have been fairly unfair if the US Women's Open champion was playing on your college team. Nonetheless, this would be an excellent response to that disappointing 3-putt back at 7. Oh no, knew it off the putter face. Just start seeing phantom break sometimes. I don't care how many times you've won, no golfer is immune to it. Hyun Kyung and her struggles back at the 7th continue. This now her 3rd shot. She's got the entire breadth of green to work with. It's so unpredictable. Trying to read that lie, judging how the ball's going to release coming out of it. And she's got that to save a par and stay at even for the tournament. I think this would be pretty much a concession for Suji's part at the 8th. Trio of 3s for this afternoon's featured group at the par 3 8th. Hansel won her E1 Charity Ladies Open title at South Springs 2 years back. 2 of her 3 wins on tour have come in 54-hole events. Very ugly triple bogey 8 at the 4th, the one blemish on an otherwise very ho-hum scorecard. Now Ji-young just inside of 40 feet for her birdie at the 7th, coming downhill right about there. And just about enough. It's always tricky playing in these sort of damp conditions because sometimes that moisture forms a bit of a film on top of the blades of grass, and your ball can almost aquaplane sometimes. You think that with rain it's going to slow greens down. Yes and no, so you always got to be mindful of that as we go up to Minji, her tee shot at 9.
Okay.
Very much a 3-shot hole for pretty much everyone in the field not named Bang Shin-sil. Trouble lurking all the way down the right-hand side of this par 5. Snakes around a little quarry to the right. The pin's in a pretty accessible spot if you can leave yourself a good number with your layup. It's almost in a low point of the green where everything collects down, but you got to find the fairway first. Crossed a billion Korean won in single season earnings for the first time in her career last season. Did Kim Soo-ji. A little concerned, but she's on dry land and, more importantly, the short grass. Hyun Kyung for what would be a rather adventurous par at 7. Bogey, excuse me, just being informed that that was indeed a penalty drop she took from the left trees, and well, 2 early birdies to get her back to even par. She's going to give both those shots back straight away. Double bogey 6. Park Hyun Kyung falls back to 2 over par. And now outside that safety bubble of the top 60 in ties. PGA Tour Rookie of the Year back in 2012. Yoo So-yeon. Still very much a factor on tour these days. Tee shots safely down the pipe at the par 5 ninth. A little bit further ahead. Choi Ye-rim. Her 3rd shot. That one bounced pretty hard. But still, an outside look for birdie, a reasonable look for birdie upcoming for Choi Ye-rim. Still yet to win on tour. Had her chance last year at the Jeju Samdasu Masters. Just pipped to the post by Ji-Han So at the end of that championship. Kim Min-byul, she leads the Rookie of the Year points race. Yet to miss a cut in her debut season on tour, but she is languishing right now at 4 over par, though that birdie's going to help. It's on 7. And the first of the 4 par 5s she'll face this afternoon. This full distance left should be just a stock wedge. Distance was good. Direction, could have done some work. Could have used some work, I should say. But an outside look for birdie nonetheless. A great tee shot back at 6, Ji-young. That reaction doesn't exactly inspire confidence, does it? It's tugging that to the left edge of the green. Still not disastrous. So-yeon. You want to look just left of that bunker in the distance. Part 2 done of tackling the 9th. Keep it in the fairway. Hyun Kyung has to do it all over again. In case of deja vu. A brilliant tee shot at 6. She's hit another good one there at the 8th. Maybe a similar range putt as well. Lee Jung-min, winner of the Pacific Links Championship in Vietnam at the end of 2022. With a fortnight swing in Southeast Asia for these girls. A 10th KLPGA Tour title. And a welcome return to the winner's circle. Minji looking a little bit further right than So-yeon was. To start this just to the right of our big TV crane in the distance. Oh dear. But she wishes she didn't look that far right, because that might be in all kinds of trouble for Park Min-ji. Now Hansel, second into the 11th. Looks to be a fairly heavy lie. Doing the smart thing there, not taking on that pin, just look out a little bit right, give yourself a chance. Smart shot from the 2021 champion. Now Yeomin has made the turn. Is that going to make it? No, it's not. Still, par keeps her in red figures. Level par 72 to open yesterday. Suji only needs an iron here. And just playing for position. Good position. So-yeon, but Min-ji in a real spot of bother at the 9th. Ji-young, rain gears come off. See if the putter stays hot. Okay, the hole is scared. To the 4th, and Minsun 7 up and over a little slope, moving from right to left for birdie. And staying low, starting low, staying low. Unfortunately, never really had a prayer, that one. Hyun Kyung, a tenacious, resilient competitor. Doesn't look it, but she is one tough customer between the ears. Grinds and fights for every shot. This would be a nice bounce back after that double bogey. Left to right, pretty flat putt elevation wise. It's a decent look to get one of those shots back. She is made of some special stuff. Park Hyun-kyung. A double bogey sandwiched by a pair of twos. So-yeon. Got a little bit of room left of this pin. If she wants to try to use that slope. A little bit long, but well, safely in that correct level of the green. There's going to be quite a bit of break in this one. From left to right. Lee Chae-yun. Again, just rolling by to a semi-uncomfortable distance. Suji, underrated as a wedge player, sticks a lot of these in close. Be surprised to see this one stiff. Pretty good. Tidy shot. That putt's going to have some serious swing from right to left. Cheon with yet another stinky little comebacker for par. She's made one. She's missed one. Oh, she's missed two. Just watching Lee Cheon over the last hour or so, just reminded of that old Bobby Jones adage: speed is far more important than line. That is in fact a double bogey 7. So after opening with a 69, she tumbles back to even par as Kim Min Sun 7 looks to clean up for her par to remain even for the day. And within 3 of Shin Sil's 7 under par clubhouse target. Oh, well, that's a very poor 3-putt as well. You can almost tell sometimes with those short putts, players get that recoil as if their body's telling them that's not gone well. So one of your 4 overnight co-leaders finding the going difficult in trying conditions on Saturday. Now Minji unfortunately found the penalty area with her second, so this now her 4th. Can't afford to drop any more shots really. It's bravely played. Not an easy shot from that angle, coming over the corner of the quarry. She's given herself at a par-saving putt. And even if that drops, she's going to need at least 2 birdies in the back 9 to make it to the final round tomorrow. Lee Jung-min already on the back 9 with this for birdie at 11. Half a roll away. Hansel yet to make a birdie today. That is in fact Ji Han-sol, not Kim Bo-kyung. Apologies for the incorrect graphic there. Wait for a first birdie of the weekend goes on. Ji Han-sol. One blemish on the card, that triple bogey at 4. Other than that, 10 pars. So young. Downhill pretty much all the way here, and just at the left. As it loses pace, it's going to want to turn towards that low point to her left. Looks pretty good. Oh, so very close to a birdie there for Yu So-yeon. So outward half at 38. Heads to the turn at 1 under for the tournament. Start of the week as one of the pre-tournament favourites, double major winner on the KLPGA and LPGA tours. Now Choi Ye-rim to start her back 9, second into 10, and even ton 40 left for her second shot into this left hole location. That's only 5 from the left edge, cut over that greenside bunker. She couldn't have landed that any closer to the edge of the trap, and yet it still rolls to the back of the green. Just shows you how tough it is to get one close at 10 today. Suji. Downhill. Works hard from right to left. You've got to send it out there and trust that that slope's going to bring it round. Not with that much speed though. Just a straightforward 2-putt par for Kim Suji. Yeomin, second into 11. Off that slight downhill lie. It's going to flatten out the ball flight just a smidge. Pretty well played, just past the pin. Leaves herself about 18 feet. Minji, huge putt for her. Can make up 2 shots on the back now with some good play. Just a little bit harder to make up 3. And barring a bit of Park Min-ji brilliance in the back 9, could very well face the possibility without having the back-to-back money list winner in the field on Sunday, as we got to the par 3 12th and Lee Jung-min. Players were hitting wedges yesterday afternoon. It's a 7-9 for Jung-min today, and hello. Oh, very nicely played indeed from Lee Jung-min. That is quality. She's one of those players, Park Min-ji, always a danger when she's in or around the lead going into the final round, particularly at major championships. Starting to wonder if she's already got one eye on the Korean Women's Open, the second major of the year, in about a couple of weeks' time at Rainbow Hills, a place where she won back in 2021 and pushed Lim Hee-jung as hard as she could last year. Now, Hansol, already seen a good tee shot in from Jung-min. She's got a nice mental picture of what she has to do, although that one looks like it's fanned out a little right. It's safely aboard this island green for Jihan Sol. Green gears come on for Hwang Yo-min's birdie putt at 11, and well, rolling the rock nicely is the little lady. That gets her to 2 under par. Underneath overcast skies and the gentle pitter-patter of rain, Bang Shin-sil still sits 2 clear at 7 under par, though another birdie from Seo Yeon-jung sees her join Hyun Se-lin as Shin-sil's closest pursuers at 5 under. Minsun 7. After that 3-putt back at 4. Looking to bounce back here from 116 on the 5th. Pins all the way back left today. Just 4 from the left edge. Cannot afford to tug this one and short side yourself. Very nicely played. A bit of a swinger from right to left for Choi Rim. Never really hit high enough or hard enough. Very disappointing effort there from Yerim. He took on the challenge of that second shot, and a poor putt never feels nice, does it? To start her trek towards the clubhouse, Yu So-yeon. On the 10th tee. Could make things interesting coming out of the rough. Chi-young back at the 9th. Should be in attack mode here from 86 meters. Nicely played. Right around 12 feet left for her birdie. Haven't seen too many putts made from that section though. A lot of players either powering it through the break or missing it low left. Go up to 12 and Jihan Seoul for birdie. Lee Jung-min's marker should be the ideal start line for this one, which should move left. Just get the sense that perhaps there's a bit of inconsistency in the speed of some of these greens. We've seen a couple of players come up well short, and well, that one's just raced on a good 7-8 feet. Wind starting to come down a little bit heavier for Kim Soo-ji on the 10th tee. Smack dab on that projected cut mark at 1 over. She starts the back 9. Did that find the fairway bunker? Because if she is in there, that's might be a layup, really. So many of the tee boxes here at Seongmun-nam Golf Club slightly elevated. Minji at least 3 birdies in this back 9 required. There is a chance the cut slides up to 2 over, but you don't want to leave it to chance, do you? It's a good start there for Park.
Okay. Oh, even.
Combined total of 26 KLPGA Tour titles in that group. Hansel still hasn't lost her turn at the 12th. To stay in red figures. And that reaction tells the whole story. 3-putt bogey. She falls back to even par. That's how quickly things can change here, especially in conditions like these. Now, Minsun, after that very fine second, to get back to even on the day. It moved back the other way as it got to the cup. Very unfortunate. Only a par. Just to clean things up for par at the 10th. Kyung for another birdie. This will be her 4th of the front 9 if this drops. Tell you what. Oh, she's unbelievable. She shakes off that double bogey at 7 like it was nothing. So, for the second time today, gets back to even par. Goes out at 2 under 34. Very good stuff from Park Hyun-kyung. Yeah, Lee Jung-min, excellent tee shot at 12. All that remains for a deuce to get her to 2 under par. Oh, you think there's some demons in her head when it comes to the flat stick? I've never seen her stutter step like that. That's 2 twos on the card. And not a bogey on it. So-yeon Yu is in the fairway bunker, but she's far enough back where the lip shouldn't be an issue. And with the pin cut on the left side of the green, I don't think that little fringe of the bunker is going to be a problem for her. Still needs to keep her height, make good contact here. Uh-oh. Just as I say it shouldn't be a problem, she pegs it. Apologies, So-yeon. Case of the commentator's curse there. Oh, she's in the exact same pickle as before. Happens to the best of them, I tell you. Happens to the best of them. Yoonji downhill right to lefter for birdie at 9 to move on to that projected cut line. Is it going to stretch? Just enough on it. Very good putt for Jung Yoonji. It's back to where she began the weekend at 1 over, and more importantly for the defending champion, on to the cut line. So, Yu So-yeon take 2, same club in hand. And a much better result. Very well done there from So-yeon, but it's not going to stick on that slightly higher tier. Still pretty good. Ji-young for a birdie of her own at the 9th to get to 2 under par. Remember, started the day at 3 under. Spun her wheels at the start. But she is racing towards the turn. Couple of birdies there for Park Ji-young. Gonna take her out in 37. And back inside the top 15. Yeah, Minji, no questions here. Got to start firing at pins. It's a dangerous one to attack, though. This left flag on 10. Tugs it left. That's going to be an impossibly quick chip, but at least the line looks somewhat decent. Min made a nice putt from about this range back at 11. This one coming up the hill at 12 for a birdie. Just lacked a little speed. At a 3, keeps her at 2 under. Suji not in the bunker, but right at the far end of that a grass face. Might be able to get to the front edge of the green. It lies good at least. Yeah, pretty well done. Excellent shot from an awkward spot for Suji. Yerin, her second into the 11th. And tough pin to get close to. Cut tight over the front edge of that bunker. Yeah, that's one way to do it. It looks like some of the cloudy mist is disappearing, but still it's rather damp out there at Seongmunam Golf Club. It's still Bang Shin Sil up by 2. It's a shot that requires a lot of trust and very soft hands here for Minji's. Open up that club face, almost like a mini bunker shot. Stab it through the fringe, let it release on down. Yeah, very nicely played from Minji. And 900 million Korean won prize purse and a handful of valuable ranking points up for grabs this week at the E1 Charity Ladies Open. But he bagged more points in 2022 than Kim Soo-ji winning the points list. Remarkable year of consistency. 2 victories, over $1 billion in earnings last year. Didn't win the money list. I mean, it's hard to topple someone like Park Min-ji who wins 6 times. He also voted Players Player of the Year, which has been quiet so far in this new year. Currently just outside the top 15 on the money list and the points list. But a birdie look upcoming for Soo-ji at 10. Going to be pretty slow coming up that hill. Gave that a little extra speed. Good effort. This would be some save. I wonder if it counts as a sand save for Yoo So-yeon. The third shot was technically from a bunker, albeit 155 meters away. But you'll have an inkling of what this putt does break-wise after watching Soo-ji's. But you notice it's going to be slow coming up that hill. she will ultimately pay the price for an errant tee shot. And for a lady who certainly would have started as one of the pre-tournament favourites coming into this week, is going to find herself back at level par. Jungmin on the 13th. Huge swing from right to left in this one. Yeah, pretty well read. Good pace, more importantly. So she'll stay 5 back at 2 under. Tidily done for Kim Soo-ji's par at 10. Downhill right to left look for Park Bo-kyum at 11. The player with her eye on the cut line, which she's just taken a step closer towards with that nice 3 at the par 4. Disastrous 78 yesterday for Park Bo-kyum. She is 4 under the card today.
나이스 파!
Good up and down for Minji. The task remains Herculean for Park. Now Yerim, after a very clever second. Outside look for birdie here at the 11th. She shaved a couple of edges today. There's Choi Yerim. Let's have a look at this par 4 11th. You tee off over this big sort of gorge of nothingness, and this fairway is guarded by plenty of fairway bunkers. It's only 337 meters long, does sweep a little bit around from right to left, and if you can get it out there somewhere in line with that bunker on the right, you see that's 230 off the tee. There's a little downhill slope which can kick the ball further down the fairway, although predominantly you will be playing from a slightly downhill lie to a green that sits above the level of the fairway, so it's always tricky to judge your distance control. And the pin today, well, in a pretty tricky spot, just 9 from the front and just over that round central bunker. Not easy to get close to it today on the par 4 11th. Suji can start it at that right track, just work a little draw off it. There it is, there's that downslope, gets a little bit of release, although with the soggy conditions underfoot, not too much run available for the players in this afternoon wave. Just overcooked that into the left rough, perhaps, Minji. Oh, there it is. Just on the left edge of the fairway, I believe. Soyeon Still birdieless for the second round. Going to find the right rough driver. Starting to get a little bit leaky for So-yeon. Not what you need in these demanding conditions Saturday afternoon in the second round. Park Geol ahead on the green. Some shot to get it in this close for Geol. Such good tempo with that stroke. It's a very long backswing, but really smooth through the ball, and that's a third unanswered birdie of the day, which moves Geol into red figures. Ji Young back at the 10th. Her number there, it's going to release to the middle of the green, leaving her pin high and putting back up the slope. She's plotting her ball around the golf course very nicely this afternoon, as she always does. Hansel just through the back of the 13th green. Quick downhill left to righter. No, not that quick. That hit the brakes very hard. Understandable after racing her birdie putt past on 12, leading to a 3-putt. To Hyun Kyung, who's just run into the first cut of rough on 10, so definitely has to look out right here. One of the lower ball flights of the KLPGA Tour, so can't afford to take this pin on with that deep bunker guarding it. Sensibly worked out to the middle of the green. Drop back to the par 3 8th. It's Yoon Jung, who has been quietly inching her way up the leaderboard. In a tie for second. Just gets a bit of a soft bounce, but no problems. Birdie look nonetheless, and that would be to get within one of Shinsil. Now to the 12th and Choi Rim. Too bold with that tee shot. As a result, fairly lengthy birdie look upcoming for Yerim. Hwang Yo-min now at 13. Set for her second. Today, the way in that back right corner, so the water really shouldn't come into play. This is an unappetizing second shot that faces Yoo So-yeon, to say the least. Ball nestled down in that thick, moist rough, pin tucked over a bunker. She needs a hybrid here. Really, she wants to be looking at the bunker at the back of the green as a start line target. Try and land it just short of the green, have it skip up. That's the problem. He carried on the green, no chance of holding it. Stays out of the bunker though, and well, got loads of room to work with for that third. Suji. Middle of the fairway. Again, don't be too bold with this second shot. Anything out just slightly right and past to the pin will do. Who am I kidding? She was always going to go straight at it. Such a bold shot, a brave shot from Suji. Again, it's only a short iron or wedge for most of these girls. It still takes stones to try and play a shot like that. Now Minji did roll into the left rough. That looked like it sounded like it came out a little bit slow. And she's going to come up short, maybe rolling back into that bunker. Her hopes of contesting tomorrow's final round just getting washed away in this steady downpour Saturday afternoon. Now Yeomin for birdie at 13. Should move a little bit from left to right, putting just across the hill here. Just a touch tentative, like she was back on 12. Soo-Yeon Jung to halve Bang Shin-sil's lead. This birdie look at the 8th. Oh, I thought that was in all the way, and I think Seo did too. Day 2 action continues to roll along here at the E1 Charity Ladies Open. It's Shin-sil 2 clear of Se-Lin and Yeon Jung. tough up and down facing Park Min-ji to start this back nine. Oof, grabbed a piece of it, but the mistake was with that second shot. Pull a tee shot, difficult second. Park Min-ji sliding down the leaderboard on Saturday as Hyun Kyung back on the 10th with this slow uphill look at birdie for 3 in a row. Oh, I thought she was going to do it. You know, that looked very good all the way, but it's going to be a rock solid par to start her back nine. Hasn't won since the 2021 KLPGA Championship at Lakewood. So-yeon looking well out right here. She's read the break nicely, but just undercooked speed-wise. Ji Young got the lucky learn off watching Park Hyun Kyung's putt. And she is gonna take advantage. It's been a hard road back to 3 under par after her awful start, but Park Ji Young slips back inside the top 10 with that birdie at the 10th. Now Min-ji for a par at the 11th, already 4 over. Remember that cut line projected to fall at 1 over par if the round ended right now. And that's kind of the summation of Park Min-ji's start to 2023. Never really quite enough. The 3rd bogey of the day. So leaves her at 5 over now to the 12th. Lengthy birdie putt for Choi Ye-rim. Oh, nicely judged. Very nicely judged from Choi. Suji, brave second. See if she can capitalize on that. Oof. Good effort. But still, can't seem to buy a putt in the second round. Lee Jung-min at the 14th. Fine iron shot to this point. That one just slides low. It's been a very efficient day for Lee Jung-min so far. Blemish free. Picked up a couple birdies at par 3s 8 and 12. A par putt for So-yeon at the 11th. Move left at the end. That looks pretty flat. There it is. Yes, just unable to pick up on that nuance from past the pin. Well, a bogey start to the back nine leaves Yoo So-yeon bang on the cut line. It's been a round to forget, and she still has 7 holes to play. quite interesting to know. I've seen Kim Soo-ji, she's left the flag in pretty much all the time since that rule was changed a couple years back, but on occasion this year I have noticed that she has pulled the pin out several times. I wonder what goes through her mind process-wise to decide whether she wants to leave it in or take it out. She's opting for leaving it in here on this par attempt at 11. As long as the ball finds its target, I suppose she can do whatever she pleases. As they make their way up to this beautiful par 312, why don't we take you through one of the more iconic holes here at Seongmunam Golf Club. It's 149 meters on the scorecard. Plays a lot shorter than that from this severely elevated tee box, but you do play down to this intimidating looking island green. The pin today in a fairly accessible spot in the sort of back left corner of the green, 24 from the front and 12 from the left edge. Just got to make sure you look out a little bit to the right, try and send the ball around with the draw, because if you tug it or leave it short, you could be in that bottom lower left swale, leaving you a very slow and tough two-putt. Of course, the complexity of the shot further compounded by the fact that we have been in a perpetual downpour for most of this Saturday afternoon. And if you're just joining us, Bang Shin-sil, the 19-year-old KLPGA Tour rookie, leads by 2. Done and dusted through 36 holes at 7 under par. Projected cut right now at 1 over. We find Kim Soo-ji and playing partner Yoo So-yeon. He's grimacing. She just turned it over too much. Oh, she sung that out a little right, but that's fine for Soo-ji. Another frustrating week for the Korean number 1 of the last 2 years. Just clears that little ball, so she's on the correct level of the green. So-yeon. We saw a bit of this from Lee Ye-won in yesterday's opening round coverage. Sometimes you just start a bit of a backward slide here at Seongmunam Country Club, and it's just a slippery slope where you keep on sliding down with unforced errors. Can't afford any more. She's on the cut line. Disgusted with the contact there. Oh, just clears the front edge of the green. She's safely aboard, but that's going to be a tough, slow putt that faces the 2-time major champion, former U.S. Women's Open champion. In a bit of trouble here in the rain on Saturday. And Park Ji-young back at the 11th. Pretty much exactly where she would have been looking. Fine control of her iron game is Park Ji-young. Yeomin well off the straight and narrow here at the 14th. Pin's tucked in the back left corner, so she can sort of sling this out to the front right of the green, have it release on. And that came off the top of the club face, comes up short left. Also coming out of the rough. It's a bit scarier with water on the left side of the 13th to take anything on the green from 146 and this lie. Brilliantly managed from Choi Ye-rim. Cannot begin to tell you how tricky a shot that one is. She's made it look very simple indeed. So Yun Jung to the 9th, just 103 left. Again, it's probably the easiest spot to put a pin on this 9th green, but we haven't seen too many very close. We've seen a lot of players there, a little bit long, a little bit left. These just aren't quick enough where that's going to start feeding its way off that slope and back down towards the hole, but outside look at birdie for Seo Yun Jung. She's made 2 birdies on par 3s already today, both courtesy of excellent tee shots. Lee Jung Min now on the final par 3 against Seung Eun Nam. It's a 9-9 on the 15th. Pin's just in the right corner of the green. She's given herself another look. Very fine shot. Give this one a good whack to get it up that steep slope. Very nicely judged there from So Yeon. Stops the bleeding with a good 2-putt at the 12th. She's got to keep her concentration though. Cannot afford any more slip-ups. So we drop back to 11 and Park Hyun-kyung once again putting for birdie. Little downhill, right to lefter. Just a little tentative there, but shouldn't be any problems for Hyun-kyung. Birdie look at 12. It's at the point in the round where, in the championship I should say, we should just try to take a little confidence. Well, that'll do the trick. Nice birdie there. Preserves her already very slim hopes of making the cut. 6 holes to play, at least 3 birdies required. Yerin ahead at the 13th. Surely that's not going to get anywhere close to the hole. I've seen her do that a couple times this week. Just not look very settled speed-wise on putts. Yo Min. We're going to see a little bit of sauce on this one. Get those hands though really zip through the ball, sort of chop its legs out from underneath, get it spinning as hard as you can. For a slightly softer floating shot, but executed brilliantly by the 20-year-old. Suji, decent look for birdie, certainly the best of the 3 here at the 12th. Just a fraction low, but another stress-free par for Suji. Gio settled down after that slow start through 4. This will be to continue to accelerate towards the top of the leaderboard. Oh, can't get much closer without dropping in for Ji Young. Solid 2-putt will keep So Yeon on that projected cut line of 1 over par. It's trying to inch its way back to 2 over. It's going to be a nervy watch from the clubhouse nonetheless as we go back to 9 and So Yeon-jung for her birdie. Like so many before her, just running out of steam and peeling off left. It's been a good outward half of 33 for So. Momentum-saving putt here, yet to drop a shot today. Got to be just outside right edge for Huang. That's disappointing. Real momentum killer, something like that. Play a good pitch shot. You always walk off a green thinking, gosh, just hit it a little firmer. Still 1 under today. That's some good going. This to get to 3 under for her round. Lee Jung-min hit at 15 to get to 3 under for the championship. Hasn't hit it, has she? Oh, she has! Just crept into the front edge with its dying breath, and that's a 3rd birdie on a par 3 today for Lee Jung-min. Moves inside the top 10. Well done indeed. Back at 4 over. Just got to look at that larger of the 2 bunkers in the distance. Just work her draw off that. As down conditions, shouldn't be able to reach that second trap, so it's a good safe start line. That's a good tee shot. Hit on the green to avoid a messy 3-putt after a wonderful second. Oh dear. Oh dear. Seeing a lot of unforced errors, particularly on the greens from some of these afternoon players today. The rain continues to fall. We have a 3rd name joining the group at 5 under. Kim Hee-ji in her 3rd season on the KLPGA Tour, putting together a very tidy round of golf. She's 4 under on the day, but still 2 behind our championship leader, Bang Shin-sil. Yu So-yeon out with the heavy artillery again. A long way back here on this 13th. Trouble all the way up the left-hand side. It started straight, but it's just turning over. Ooh, she catches a piece of the green. She was a little nervous and slightly disgusted with that second shot, but she's on dry land. That's all that matters. So she's battling something in that swing right now as we go back to 12 and Park Ji-young. Draw into this left hole location. Didn't quite turn that over enough. Minji. She sticks one into about 15 feet here. She'll entertain thoughts of putting together some spectacular finish. Started a long way right. Is it coming back? She's trying to. Keep coming. Keep coming. Wow. Tell you what, if she goes on to make the cut here, there's going to be some comeback. Being 5 over par with 7 holes to play. Still has to find a couple more birdies as Hwang Yo-min takes to 15T. Okay, pin high. There's a runner-up finish as an amateur on the KLPGA Tour. That came at last year's NH Ladies Open to eventual champion. Surprise, surprise, Park Min-ji. Now Suji, booming tee shot here on the 13th, really challenging that left side. As a result, only 118 left. Pretty well done. Ji-young. Up and over, a little rise. Working from right to left all the way. Keep going, keep going. Yeah, not too bad. So-yeon, the lower left section of 13 green. Similar to the putt she had on 12. We've got to club this to get it all the way back to this hole. Hit that as hard as she could. She's still come up a good 5-6 feet short. To drop any more shots. So Hyun-kyung just from the lower level of the 12th green, so you know it's going to be a pretty sluggish one as it rises up that little tier. Nigh on perfect again, speed-wise for Hyun-kyung. Great feeling that, the old tap-in par. No stress, no fuss. Where's the next tee? There, Yo-min. Should move a touch from her right. Also coming slightly downhill. Troyer rim on the 14th. Looks to be just in the first cut of rough. Again, with that back left pin, it's actually a good thing here. Landed a little bit short, played for some release. That one really dug its heels in quickly. Still not a bad shot though. Suji with this left to righter. Just past the pin on 13. Easy to underhit these. Just have it lose it right. So got to keep your speed up and stay committed. Certainly stay committed to that, unfortunately. For Suji, another good putt that just can't find its target. With right around 3.5 feet for her part at 12. No mistakes from Park. Certainly is more than 5 or 6 feet for So Yeon. It's an awkward run for a righty, breaking from left to right. That now drops the former world #1 outside of the projected cut mark. That kind of day, we know it all too well, So Yeon. We know it all too well. Lee Jung-min's having a much better day. This is her third shot now to the par 5 16th. Into the middle of the green, just 7 from the left edge. Just leaving herself a lot of putts from that range, Lee Jung-min. Now Minji for back-to-back birdies. Dare we dream of a miraculous run to the clubhouse for Park? No, we dare not. Squanders a chance to start building some momentum. You have to settle for a 4 to stay at 4 over. Well, the 14th hole played. It's one of the easiest holes of the golf course for yesterday's opening round. Tee shot starts to work its way gently uphill, only 321 meters. The scorecard does play a little longer due to the elevation changes, and today with the soft conditions. Pair of bunkers on the left and right of the fairway must be avoided, but it's a fairly generous target that the players are hitting into. It's a bulbous section of the fairway. See a lot of players coming in with shorter irons, most of the longer hitters even with a wedge or two, but the pin today cut at the left side of the green, 17 from the front and just 4 from the left edge. So really the best angle you want to be coming in from is just out of the right hand side of the fairway. It does give you a bit of a hanging line with the ball above your feet, but even if you stray into the right rough, not a difficult pin to attack, provided you avoid those bunkers and the tangly second cut of rough. Good news for everyone out there at Seongmunam Golf Club, and particularly the caddies, is that the rain looks like it's abated. No umbrellas out, no drops of rain at all. Precipitation has been much of a problem for this second round, but Fingers crossed it stays away for what should be a cracking final day's action tomorrow. Suji, look at the right edge of the fairway here. Love the freeness in her golf swing. There is just no holding back. There's no sort of steering the golf ball. Oh, very, very efficient. Minji. Like Suji will have to look towards that right-hand side fairway trap. Hear him on the green, bit unlucky that ball didn't kick a little further up the surface, but still a reasonable look at birdie. If she can get it to the hole, she is really struggling with the pace of these greens. So out to the 10th, and Seo Yin Jung just through the back of the green, got this one well outside the back foot, trying to play a little low chasing stab and run. And she's played it well. Oh, almost played it perfectly. Get a lot more sense of comfort and confidence from Lee Jung-min, which is putting from this range as opposed to inside of 6 feet. Does tend to get the heebie-jeebies with the putter. From this sort of distance, she can freewheel it. Really put a good positive stroke on this. Chance for a birdie at 16. A good attempt, really good roll. Just slips by the left edge. Kim Hee-ji with the low round of the afternoon session, working 4 under par with just 5 holes left to play. Can anyone get close to Bang Shin-sil, who sits in the house at 7 under par after a second straight round in the 60s? So Young, first to play, as expected, back in the 14th, but she's found the fairway. Oh, and that's a mistake, short-siding herself in some of the thicker rough. Problems for Yu So Young. Ji Young flirting with trouble down the left-hand side of 13, but that ball's okay. Having the left side does mean she's got a nice angle to this right pin, and she is going to take full advantage. That's a stunning shot from Park Ji Young. Minji sitting nicely in that left rough. Played for a flyer that just wasn't there. Suji. You got a pin in the left corner of the green. Kim Suji's got a short iron or wedge in hand. They expect it to be in stuffed close. Pretty good from Suji. She's one of those players that she just knows her strength. She knows her game so well. Takes full advantage of it as Park Geol takes to 15T. Pinning that sort of front right third of the green. Looked like a bit of a steery swing from Park Geol, but she steers it to about 15 feet. Doesn't have to look pretty, it just has to work. Travel up to the first of the two par fives of this back nine, 16th. See a couple of players attempt to get home into, though it would take a rather brave soul in these rather damp conditions today. But the joys of youth. Hwang Yo-min, after a good tee shot, looks like she's going for it. Oh, and go for it she does. That's stunning. Keep on rolling. Keep releasing. Excellent. An eagle look upcoming for Hwang Yo-min. Choi Rim. Hole back on 15. Beautifully played from Choi Rim. Couple of birdie looks there for Geol and Yerim at 15. Now Minji electing to chip this one from what looks to be about 6 inches off the front edge of the green. Flirting with disaster here on the 13th is Park In-kyung. She's inside the penalty area line, but the ball's dry, so definitely playing it. So try and punch one out, maybe chase up that slope. It's so hard to do. Not a bad effort at all. She's going to have that to avoid a drop shot. Again, the only blemish of the round so far. Double bogey on the 7th. This is kind of similar to the shot that Park Min-ji had on 10. Just a long, slow, lazy swing, almost like a mini bunker shot for Yu So-yeon. Let the bounce do the work here. Open up that club face and just keep rotating your chest through the ball. Just a bit of deceleration there. Lost a little commitment. Does get a kick forward. And it's been a round to forget thus far for Yu So-yeon. Kim Kyung for her part at 13. Brilliant save again for Park Hyun Kyung. There's been a picture of resilience in the gloom of Saturday afternoon at Seongmunam. Suji for a much needed birdie to restore her to level terms on the day. See that last 6 feet, that ball looked to have just hit custard. Slowed up so quickly at the end. Again, that's just the saturation that these greens have endured all throughout the day. Now this is an eagle look for Hwang Yo-min at the par 5 16th. This would be some way to rocket up the leaderboard. Would move her inside the top 10. Not to be the big bird, but the simplest of birdie fours is going to take Hwang Yo-min back to 2 under par. Of course, she and Bang Shin-sil, the championship leader, played for a couple of years together as teammates on the national team here in South Korea. What a formidable duo that was. Ji-young after that wonderful second, this to get to 4 under. Nicely holed, capitalizes on a well-played second shot, and Park Ji-young moves under par for the first time on Saturday. Really can't afford another miscue here, So-yeon. That's yet another bogey. So-yeon, the former world #1, now finds herself in a world of trouble. 2 outside the cut line. Now Gale first to putt on 15 between herself and Yerim. Both with birdie looks. Gale's will move to her left. And she hit it. Not quite. Just a steady par then for Park. It's another drop shot for Yu So-yeon. Lee Jung-min on 17, demanding 380-meter par 4. Wow, how about those 2 shots? Oh, Lee Jung-min has been very good. Probably an understatement with her irons today. That is excellent from her. Well, there have been some bright spots, and this gloomy Saturday just outside of Wonju City, Kim Hee-ji and Lee Jung-win putting together some very fine rounds on moving day here at the E1 Charity Ladies Open. But Bang Shin-sil still sits in control of the championship, leading by 2 at 7 under. Well, Gale's already missed a birdie look. Now Yerim from the opposite side. Pace has been an issue for her, and it will continue to remain an issue for Choi. Oh dear, that was almost a little bit careless there, but frustration starting to boil over for Choi Yerim. Open with that 69 and just has gotten nothing out of her round today. Let's have a look at the last of the par 3s this week at the E1 Charity Ladies Open. It's 135 meters, but plays a little bit shorter than that coming down the hill. Big bunker on the left-hand side. Shouldn't really come into play with today's pin position. Just 7 from the right edge and about 20 paces from the front. Just up a tiny little shell. So good distance control, as always on par 3s. Absolutely key to leave yourself a reasonable look at a 2. That's going to be on the wrong side of that little ridge for Kim Soo-ji. Minji pretty much has to run the tables coming home. That's a good start. Lovely tee shot. So right about pin high for Park Min-ji. She's still getting plenty of good shots. Just has to start stringing holes together. Start stringing tournaments together. Just been no momentum building in the season of Min-ji thus far in 2023. Seo-yeon Jung slightly offline here. At the 11th. Gotta be careful to not do what Park Min-ji did. Just look out long here. Don't bring that front bunker into play. There's a brave shot, but even that's going to release on well past the pin. Shin-sil's lead still to Hee-ji, 4 under for this afternoon session, joining the group that includes Yoon Se-lin and Seo-yeon Jung. Just 2 shots back on a rather wet afternoon at Seongmunan Country Club. Suji looking at her birdie effort here from just outside of 30 feet. And coming up that little rise, going to be slow, then flattens out once it gets up to that upper level where the hole's cut. Certainly gave that one a try. She'll probably be wishing she hadn't, especially, sitting on that cut line at 1 over. Just giving herself some unnecessary stress on this par 3. Back at 11, Syrian Jung has a birdie look here down the hill. Wasn't a million miles offline. It's a good par after a wayward tee shot. Park Ji Young coming up the hill into this 14th. Hit a sparkling shot on the previous hole to set up a nice birdie. And that one just hits a little bit soft in the green, but another birdie look upcoming for Ji Young. Now, So-yeon, gotta have this. Gotta start clawing at chances. Should move a little left, but she's gotta hit it. She hasn't hit it. Oh no. The good news is she's got 2 par 5s coming up. Bad news is she's probably gonna have to birdie both of them. 3 over par, not going to cut the mustard on the KLPGA Tour. With the depth of talent coming out of this country. Lee Jung-min for a 4th birdie of the day. It does make me uncomfortable, but it's an effective stroke and a good result for Lee Jung-min, who now climbs into a share of 5th. From the right here. Just not her week. So another par. It's not going to dampen the voices of the Park Min-ji fan club. So many of these players in South Korea have very fervent fans who travel the country with them, watching them week in, week out. Wang Yo-min, after that birdie at 16, now finds herself at 2 under par, but coming out of the rough on 17. And pretty well played indeed. Ji Young for her birdie at 14. Should start to move a little right there. Just didn't hit it. Not the only one today. Now Suji, suddenly this becomes a pressure-packed putt because this is for par to stay at 1 over. But she's up to the task. That is just nerves of steel from Kim Soo-ji. 9 pars in a row since her bogey at the 6th. Now Hyun Kyung. But has been red hot in the gloom on Saturday. But she's not going to find the target with that one. Still, par's going to keep her level. Back-to-back birdies. Should just creep a little left for her at the end. That's a good putt. Her pace putting has been pretty spot on this back nine. Hong Yo-min. Yerim back on 16 with her third shot. A lot of players playing for a big first bounce, and they try to hit the handbrake with their second. Oh, just like that. Couldn't have drawn it up or played it any better for Choi Yerim. Excellent shot. Par 5 16th, you start from way up high on this elevated tee box, and then you drop down to this beautiful and picturesque fairway. Longer hitters on better days do have to challenge that big clump of trees on the hill on the left-hand side. Most of the field will have to aim it at the two fairway bunkers in the distance on the right-hand side. And if you do get a good tee shot away, you're within 220 meters of that second shot playing downhill, you could be tempted to go for the green, but it is a challenge that is fraught with danger. Creek running up the right-hand side, lots of bunkers peppered around the fairway to a green that sits at an angle away from that second shot, thus shallowing the landing area a little bit. If you do want to lay up, well, there's plenty of room to lay up into. It's a fairly bulbous zone. The pin today on this 16th, well, it's in an accessible spot. The left half of the green, pretty much in the middle, 25 paces from the front, and just 7 from the left edge. Certainly a birdie opportunity. With the heavier air, ENG, I think should be looking out maybe just to the left edge of that right trap. It's a picture perfect tee shot. Bang on from ENG. Definitely should have a go at the green and 2 from there. Good looking tee ball for Kim Soo-ji as well. You get a lot of hang time from the elevated tee, and well, she's certainly going to have a crack in 2 from there. That's an enormous tee shot. Park Gale, a little bit further up the hole, laid up into that generous landing zone with her second, and well, like Choi Yerim, these two have been matching each other pretty much shot for shot on this back nine. Another pair of excellent approaches from Park and Choi. 27 years old now, Park Gale. Pro back in 2014. Back to Seo Yeon Jung at the Island Green 12th. Blemish free today, and he's picked up 3 birdies as well to leave her in a 3-way tie for second. Yep. About 25 feet right of the pin at the 12 for Seo. Young up on 15T. Again, just make sure you get this to the correct level of the green. Oh, not gonna creep up that rise, but that's okay. So Yon doesn't have the firepower to get home in two, you think. Just looking to lay this one up, leave it handy. That far bunker, the right of the two bunkers in the distance. So Minji just doing the sums. She should be able to at least get to the front edge of the green, and we've seen from Hwang Yo Min's ball, you do spot it there. You can kick on forward onto the green and have it release up. Again, currently 4 over. So needs to find 3 shots in the last 3 holes. She's waiting for the green to clear, so really, she's got her eye out for at least flying this on the front edge. Don't think she quite got all of that one, but it's in a decent spot. Suji. This will set up well for her. Especially with this left pin. Just a little right. That turns over a fraction more. It gets a good kick. Could have rolled up to a good 10, 15 feet, but not the worst spot to leave yourself. Just off the right-hand side of the green. As long as the lie's okay, should be a fairly straightforward up and down for a player who needs it. Now up to the final hole. Lee Jung-min, her third into the last 86 meters left. Can she find one last birdie to equal the low round of the day? Well, she's given herself a chance. That's an excellent shot to a tricky pin position. So Yeon-jung. Right to left, up and over this mound. Outside chance to get to 6 under. It's tracking nicely. Oh, just a fraction high there. So all 3 players in this group currently find themselves in need of a little bit of magic. Minji needs to find 3 shots in 3 holes. Yoo So-yeon needs 2. Suji just the 1. For our featured group in this second round, the sailing has been anything but smooth here at Seongmunam Country Club. We have to feel for So-yeon, former US Women's Open champion, former world number 1, reached that pinnacle in 2017 with her win in Arkansas. just hasn't had her best stuff this Saturday. Battling some swing demons. Still has a chance, but she's going to need to stick one in close here at the 16th. Play for that big first bounce. Should check up on the second. Yeah, that's more like it from So-yeon. Hasn't made a birdie yet today. She's got about 6 feet between her and a first circle on her card coming up at the 16th. Now Hyun Kyung back at 15, putting just across that ridge. Should start to move a little left there. Yeah, well read putt, good for pace as well. Amateurs or weekend golfers do tend to find this kind of shot a little bit problematic, sort of a long pitch. Just watch the use of the upper body for Park Min-ji here. It's important to just keep rotating. You don't want to get handsy and flick at these. It's very much a big shoulder turn, and just allow your arms to come along for the ride. Contact wasn't ideal there for Park. Just a little poor for a player of her caliber. Ji-young to join the group at 5 under par. In you go, Park Ji-young. That is very good golf indeed. A 5th birdie of the day, and you start to think, if not for that really poor start, could she be tied with Bang Shin-sil? Still 18 holes of golf to play tomorrow afternoon. And Lee Jung-min has this to equal the low round of the day, and having said that, of the week, 67. Oh, and she's walked that one in. That is the best round of the week by far. In tough conditions, Saturday afternoon, in the pouring rain, Lee Jung-min romps home in 32 en route to a 67, a share of second. She gets to 5 under par within 2 of Bang Shin-sil as she chases an 11th KLPGA Tour title. Suji. We know that second shot came up just right of the green in the rough. And she's got a putter out already, so she's clearly played her third. And by the looks of things, not a very good one, because she has still got to go before Yoo So-yeon or Park Min-ji have their cracks at birdies. Didn't even get it up to the correct level, so an inopportune time for a poor pitch shot. Kim Soo-ji. She's got I'd like to say a slightly awkward putt here. Coming up and over the rise, but it will gather pace when she gets on the far side of that crest. She's got to give this one a chance. She's got to give the hole a scare. pace. Yeah, Minji, remember, needs to find 3 shots in these last 3 holes to make the cut. 17's not the easiest hole in the world, and the pin on 18, there's no walk at the park either. But it all starts here. This one doesn't go in. It could be it for Park Min-ji. No, it doesn't come back from there, does it? Oh, it tried. A lady who's won a dozen times in the last 2 seasons, sadly not going to be around for tomorrow's final round. Just too many sloppy mistakes, the undoing for Park Min-ji. But for Yu So-yeon, still, there is hope. She's going to need to pop this one in and find another birdie in her last 2. Hasn't looked settled, hasn't looked comfortable all day long. And yet to make a birdie. You see the projected cut, the bottom left of your screen at 1 over. This to get to 2 over par. That's a very good birdie. I say it all the time, there's never a bad time to make your first birdie. She's waited 16 holes for it, but Yu So-yeon keeps her chances alive. Suji for a par to stay on that mark. Beg your pardon, I thought she was 2 over par. She's in fact on the cut line at 1 over. So it's been a testing day of golf, to say the least, for the players on day 2. Yejun Choi making her return to the KLPGA Tour in her homeland for the first time since the Mediheal Championship 2 years ago. Opened with a 2 under par round of 70 yesterday. That was one of few bright spots in her round today. But Bang Shin-sil, playing in the company of the world number 24, would continue to impress. That a birdie on the 18th to head out in 35. Safe to say this was one of the shots of the day. Tee shot at the 6th. Could it possibly? It thought about it. It would go on to be a simple tap-in birdie. And as the rain started to come down, as Bang Shin-sil hit her back 9, her putter would remain red hot. That long-range curling putt at the first hole, taking her into sole possession of the lead at 6 under par. Has to be some more fine shot making, just coming off that birdie at the 6th. That an approach into the 7th that, gosh darn, near went in again. Shinsil's putter continued to be even with her length. When she starts getting the putter working, she could be unstoppable. She's coming off a bogey at the 3rd as well. She would sign for a 69. 7 under par, the clubhouse target that Bang Shin-sil sets of 137, the only player with 2 rounds in the 60s so far this week. And then in the afternoon wave, well, Park Ji-young, she started slow, 3 over in her first 5, but that birdie at the 10th, her 3rd since the double bogey, taking her back to level pegging on the day. How about the round of Lee Jung-min? Level par 72 yesterday, but she certainly lit it up on moving day. Birdies at 8, 12, 15, 16. And that at 17. En route to a round of 67. And Park Ji-young's putter will continue to set the back 9 alight. That a beautiful birdie at the par 3 15th, taking her into the group at 5 under. And Lee Jung-min, I mentioned that delightful finish, that walking it in with confidence, a blemish-free 67 to head into Sunday at 5 under par. So that just about wraps it up for our coverage this Saturday afternoon at Seongmunan Country Club. Kim Hee-ji, she's within 1 of Bang Shin-sil now, but it's the 19-year-old who'll sleep on the lead once again as we go into the final round of the E1 Charity Ladies Open. We do hope you'll join us for the thrilling Sunday shootout. Same time, same place tomorrow. Until then, this is Timothy Lowe saying bye-bye for now.